Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a closer look at a critical, yet often, underappreciated aspect of quality assurance, the human element. We're talking about the culture you build, the way you lead through seismic shifts and, just the daily pressures, and how you truly coach and develop the next generation of QA professionals into indispensable leaders.
And this deep dive is really custom tailored for quality directors and senior QA leaders like you. We're drawing deep insights from real, very candid interviews with qualified persons, QPs, and quality leaders across the UK pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
These perspectives, they were originally part of the QP Diaries, the playbook series. Our mission today is to extract the most potent nuggets of wisdom on navigating those complex, often unseen people challenges within high-stakes QA functions.
Our goal today isn't just to describe what makes a successful leader in the QA world. We want to uncover the how and the why behind it, really focusing on practical wisdom and maybe some surprising facts that will truly help you foster a high-performing, resilient, and most importantly, a deeply human quality environment.
Right.
We're going to unpack this by looking at the lessons learned from those who've, walked the path. #TagDough 1. Building a high-performance QA culture.
Okay, so first off, our sources consistently underscore that investing in people has this really profound transformative impact on an organization's very DNA.
Right.
It's not merely, a superficial perk or a nice-to-have benefit that HR sprinkles on top.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fundamental to cultivating a thriving, dynamic learning culture. Catherine Kay, who's an executive director at NSF, she articulates this point with remarkable clarity. She asserts that employers have a profound responsibility to help employees become expert learners.
Expert learners. Interesting term.
Yeah, because, as she puts it, people with the inherent will and the developed skill to learn effectively will absolutely positively impact their organization and the performance of their teams.
And this isn't just theory for her, is it?
No, not at all. It's a core belief derived from decades of extensive frontline experience in the pharmaceutical field.
That's a powerful statement. And what's truly compelling, I think, is that it's not abstract either. You said Catherine directly links this investment in people to increase profitability.
He does.
But for our listeners, the quality directors, the senior QA leaders who are often juggling tight budgets and, frankly, stringent regulatory demands, what exactly does this investment look like in practice?
Right. How do you make it real?
Yeah, how do you translate that broad philosophy into tangible actions that demonstrably affect the bottom line rather than just, sounding good on paper?
Yep, that's the crux of it, isn't it? In practice, this investment directly creates a culture of continuous improvement, one that actively seeks out and embraces new knowledge. When employees feel genuinely supported and invested in for their development, they become intrinsically motivated. It's not just about the paycheck anymore.
So they want to learn.
Exactly. They actively seek new knowledge, they're driven to find innovative solutions, and they begin thinking more creatively about how to approach complex challenges. Catherine's own experience provides a compelling illustration of this.
Right. She stayed at Merck Sharp and Dome for a long time.
For 14 years, yeah, which is, a testament to the robust culture they cultivated. She said she felt very loyal and motivated, specifically because of the development opportunities the company consistently provided.
Okay. So that direct link is key.
Absolutely. That direct link between genuine development opportunities, increased employee engagement, and ultimately higher retention rates. That's a critical insight for any senior QA leader looking to build not just a stable team, but a team that consistently outperforms.
Which means less churn, less time onboarding, more accumulated expertise.
Exactly. It all feeds into better performance.
So it's clear that investment isn't just about sending people on a generic training course or, taking a docs on an annual review form.
No, definitely not.
It's about creating tangible opportunities for growth, giving them real responsibilities, and fostering an environment of deep trust where that growth can truly flourish, leading to a demonstrable return on investment. It's about designing a workplace where learning is part of the daily fabric.
Absolutely. And Catherine further stresses that true investment involves empowering employees, giving them real responsibility, but, and this is crucial in the regulated pharma environment, doing so within controlled and well-defined boundaries.
Right, you can't just let people run wild.
No, it's not about throwing them into the deep end without a lifeline. It's about recognizing that this approach, allowing individuals to truly own their contributions and develop their skills, creates this ripple effect that influences the entire organization. Well, when quality professionals feel empowered to innovate and improve processes, it inevitably leads to greater efficiency, fewer deviations, and ultimately positively impacts the organization's profitability at the very top level.
Okay.
You're cultivating a workforce that is more capable, more engaged, and more committed to the company's overarching success, rather than just, mechanically following instructions.
That brings us directly to a core challenge for any QA leader. How does one effectively build this kind of deep trust and truly empower their team, especially in a high-stakes environment like quality assurance, where patient safety and regulatory compliance are, well, non-negotiable?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
How do you give people autonomy when the margin for error seems so razor-thin?
Stephen Clark, a QP with 14 years of experience, offers some invaluable insight here that might surprise some people.
Oh,
He
yeah.
highlights that as a leader, you must allow your teams to develop and grow, and crucially, sometimes that means allowing them to make mistakes.
Mistakes in QA. That
Ugh.
sounds risky.
Well, hang on. He's very clear this isn't about risking patient safety or releasing a non-compliant batch. He emphasizes that these should, of course, be within safe, controlled boundaries.
Okay, controlled boundaries. That makes more sense.
Right, where the consequences are manageable and the primary goal is learning, not blame. He issues a direct warning against stifling teams where the person at the top feels they need to make every single decision.
The micromanager type?
Exactly. Instead, he advocates for trusting good teams and giving them the room they need to develop, to grow, and even to approach and solve problems differently from how you might do it yourself. This trust, this calculated autonomy, is absolutely foundational.
So it sounds like a true leader helps their team understand the why behind decisions, fostering a deeper understanding of the underlying principles rather than just dictating the what's.
Precisely.
This way, even if a mistake happens within those boundaries, the team understands the principles that guided the decision, allowing for true root cause analysis and future prevention, not just fixing a symptom.
You've hit the nail on the head. How do you instill that why effectively? Stephen recalls that his team members often knew the decisions he was going to make even before he made them,
Really? How?
because they had discussed issues so frequently and thoroughly. They understood his thought processes, his rationale, his priorities, discerning what was critically important, what was somewhat important, or what was not important at all within a given scenario.
So they could anticipate him.
Right. This deep understanding of his mindset and priorities meant they could anticipate his decisions and even make their own aligned choices, essentially acting as extensions of his leadership.
That's powerful.
And this aligns perfectly with Marie, an Irish QP. Reflecting on her own diverse career, she noted that working in different departments gave her invaluable insight into various areas like laboratories or IT.
Cross-functional experience.
Exactly. She highlights that this cross-functional exposure not only helps a QP spot where someone is trying to not answer a question, uncovering potential issues, but more importantly, it fosters a holistic, comprehensive understanding that is absolutely crucial for effective leadership, especially when dealing with the complex, interconnected quality issues that span multiple departments.
So it's about leading with transparency, a clear path forward, and an open dialogue, ensuring everyone is not just aware but truly understands the direction, the reasoning, and the overarching vision.
Yes.
That kind of clarity must inspire confidence.
Adrian Zara, a leader who managed globally, scanning teams of over 200 people.
Wow.
Yeah, he strongly emphasizes that clarity of vision and the ability to communicate it effectively are critical for inspiring a team and getting everyone aligned. But even more so, he highlights integrity as paramount.
Integrity. Seems obvious, but maybe not always practiced.
Well, he puts it starkly. People will believe in you, he asserts, if they know you do not lie and you do not hide things, and that you tell the unvarnished truth.
The unvarnished truth, even when it's hard.
Especially when it's hard. This unwavering honesty, even when difficult, isn't just a moral imperative. It strategically opens the door for questions and challenges, fostering what he calls constructive criticism or conflict.
Constructive conflict.
Okay, tell me more. This approach transforms potential dissent into productive dialogue, where people feel safe to challenge ideas without fear of retribution, ultimately leading to better decisions.
That's where things get really interesting, I think. When conflict is reframed and seen as constructive, that's a hallmark of a truly strong, psychologically safe culture.
Exactly.
It signals that people feel secure enough to challenge ideas for the betterment of the outcome, rather than just blindly following or, fearing speaking up. Can you give us an example of how Adrian put this into practice?
Sure. Adrian recounted a powerful and challenging experience where he had to reshape an audit and regulatory compliance function.
Okay.
And this wasn't a small task. It included diverse cultural backgrounds across North America, Asia, the Middle East, Europe, and South America. Huge scope.
Wow, lots of different perspectives there.
Absolutely. And historically, people often viewed audit and compliance with apprehension, even seeing it as finger-pointing or a blame game.
Yeah, I can see that. The auditors are coming.
Right. He learned that communicating the why, the clarity of vision behind the changes, was absolutely integral to getting people on board, especially since most people in pharma are inherently motivated by doing good, by ensuring patient safety and contributing to public health.
Tapping into that shared purpose.
Precisely. By framing compliance not as a burden, but as a critical safeguard for patients and a facilitator for growth, he managed to bridge cultural divides and foster collaboration. It's about connecting the task to that deeper, shared motivation. #2, leading through change and pressure.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. The qualified person role and senior QA leadership in general, it's inherently high pressure. Our sources, drawing from real-world experiences, vividly depict this reality. How do they illustrate that constant intensity?
Well, Marie, the Irish QP we mentioned, she states it very clearly. It's definitely a pressurized environment.
No kidding.
She pinpoints specific scenarios. Moments when there are question marks over a batch or a deviation that's causing difficulty. In these critical moments, she notes, QPs are often front and center, becoming the focal point for resolution, fielding questions from all sides.
So the buck stops there, essentially.
Pretty much. And she importantly highlights a significant regulatory shift with Annex 16, which has moved away from the old idea of QP discretion.
Ah, okay. What's replaced it?
It's been replaced with handling of unexpected deviations. This means decisions are no longer about a QP's personal choice or gut feeling. They are strictly scientific and based on clear, objective criteria.
Like what?
For example, ensuring no out-of-spec results and, critically, no patient impact. Consequently, leaders must cultivate the ability to not take that personally. If a negative decision, like rejecting a batch, however difficult or unpopular with commercial teams, needs to be made.
Objectivity under fire. That's tough.
It is, and Richard Smalley, with his 40 years in the industry, certainly understands pressure on a profound level.
40 years. He must have seen it all.
You'd think so. He described his reality as a consultant who has contacted 365-247.
Wow, that's relentless. That unyielding demand for expertise. For a quality director, managing that kind of expectation within their team must be a constant struggle.
It absolutely is. And Richard admitted that this constant demand is something younger QPs or earlier in your career feel most acutely. They encounter these high-stakes situations for the very first time, often without the decades of accumulated wisdom to fall back on.
Right. The learning curve is steep.
Very. He strikingly likens being a senior quality person to being a football manager.
A football manager? How so?
Well, he says if you get a few bad results or haven't got the right team or sufficient resources around you, the wheels can quickly fall off.
That's a vivid analogy. Captures the high stakes, the constant scrutiny.
And the absolute necessity for a robust team and a well-defined strategy to maintain stability and prevent catastrophic failures. Just like a coach needs a strong bench and a clear game plan.
So, given such intense, unyielding pressure, how do these experienced leaders manage it without burning out? Or without sacrificing their mental health? Or causing their teams to suffer from chronic stress?
Yeah, what are the practical things they do?
Exactly. What are the actionable strategies they've developed and adopted over their careers to maintain resilience and peak performance?
Richard Smalley learned what he described as the crucial, sometimes counterintuitive skill of saying no and setting boundaries, especially when he felt overcommitted.
Saying no sounds easy, but in that environment,
It's incredibly difficult. He championed what he calls the GMO principle. Get in, move on.
GMO.
Get in, move on. It means urging QPs not to get stuck on excessive details or, analysis paralysis, but to know what information is truly essential to make a sound decision.
Focus on the critical path.
Exactly. Does it meet marketing authorization? Does it meet GMP, the critical international standards? How serious is the error? He also applied Covey's 4 quadrants framework.
Urgent, important matrix.
Right? Advising to actively avoid spending too much time on not urgent, not important activities, focusing instead on high-value, high-impact tasks that genuinely move the needle for quality and patient safety.
Strategic prioritization, key to navigating the overload.
Absolutely key.
But that's a powerful principle. Saying no, though, especially to a demanding sales team or senior management, that can feel like career suicide for many. How do these leaders advocate for their time and boundaries in practice?
That's the art, isn't it?
And on the flip side, Stephen Clark candidly shared his own deeply personal experience with stress and anxiety, even describing a breakdown when his company put him in dual roles with immense pressure.
Yeah, that was a tough story.
It powerfully highlights the vital importance of mental health and having a strong support network, not just for the individual QP, but for the overall resilience of the entire QA function.
Well, that's where the how comes in for saying no.
Right.
Richard, for example, would frame his no not as a refusal, but as a prioritization for patient safety and critical compliance.
Okay, so positioning it differently.
Right. He'd say something like, to ensure we address this critical issue effectively, I need to defer that less urgent request for 24 hours. It's about managing expectations and demonstrating the why.
Makes sense.
And regarding Stephen's experience, it just underscores that leadership in QA isn't just about technical expertise, it's profoundly about people centricity and recognizing the human cost of unsustainable pressure.
We need to look after our people.
Absolutely. Adrian Zara, offering wisdom from his own high-pressure experiences, advises that when under extreme stress, you actually need to slow down more.
Slow down when things are frantic.
Yeah, seems counterintuitive, right? Yeah. But it's to ensure your brain is thinking clearly, preventing crucial, often irreversible mistakes. He also stressed the importance of actively pushing pressure away from yourself and your team.
How do you push pressure away?
He recounted an anecdote about a logistics manager who, by constantly asking about batch releases, was actually delaying the shipment because the QA team was being interrupted and couldn't focus.
Ah, the unintended consequences.
Exactly. Adrian's advice is clear. Be assertive and say no when necessary, but always explain the why to those creating the pressure. Demonstrate that your boundary setting serves a higher purpose, efficiency, accuracy, and ultimately patient safety.
Beyond just managing the work and the external pressures, it's also about building in those essential moments of detachment and recovery, right?
Oh, crucial.
Creating space for the mind to reset, allowing for sustained performance rather than just burning out. What practical, almost daily habits did they emphasize?
Both Richard and Adrian emphasize practical strategies for this, many of which are often overlooked in the daily grind. Richard highlighted using his commute to decompress, actively listening to music, transitioning from work mode to personal mode.
Creating a mental buffer zone.
Yeah. And Adrian pointed to the importance of developing external interests, like engaging in healthcare policy outside of his day job or serving as a school board governor.
Things totally unrelated to work.
Right. These activities, he noted, effectively take your mind off work while simultaneously broadening your knowledge base and perspective, a crucial skill for strategic QA leaders.
Keeps things fresh.
And Richard views career progression not as a sprint, but as a marathon, akin to the tortoise winning the race. He emphasizes long-term consistency and sustained effort over those bursts of unsustainable intensity that lead to burnout.
The long game.
Exactly. And they both stressed basic, yet profoundly impactful habits like never miss your lunch break, even if it's delayed.
Simple, but hard to stick to sometimes.
And truly, shut off after leaving the office.
Yeah.
It's about disciplined self-care as a leadership imperative.
Some of the most valuable lessons often come not from easy successes, but from challenges and setbacks. It's easy to preach resilience, but what does it actually look like in the crucible of a QP's career?
Yeah, how does it play out?
How do our sources illustrate the power of resilience in QA leadership, turning perceived failures into profound learning experiences?
Phil Rose provides a powerful and incredibly relatable example for any aspiring QP. He shared his experience of failing his first QP Viva.
Oh, wow, that must have been tough. The Viva is notoriously difficult.
Hugely. While initially devastated by the setback, he quickly realized it wasn't the end of my career. His crucial support network, including his wife, mentors, and sponsor, played an indispensable role in helping him pick himself up, process the setback, and prepare again.
That network is key.
Absolutely. He learned to approach his second Viva with a different mindset, less pressure, more confident. He even gently challenged an assessor during the interview, which is a testament to his newfound self-assurance and understanding.
Good for him.
This profound resilience, he notes, allows one to pick yourself up and move on, transforming a perceived failure into a critical stepping stone towards deeper mastery.
It sounds like these setbacks aren't just isolated failures, but profound opportunities for deeper learning and character development. They forge a stronger, more adaptable leader.
Exactly right. It's almost a necessary rite of passage.
Yeah.
Marie pointed out that QPs learn more from the nasty deviations than you'll ever learn from the straightforward batches.
That makes sense. Trouble forces you to think harder.
It does. She powerfully frames deviations not as problems to be dreaded, but as opportunities for learning and continuous improvement.
A mindset shift.
Totally. And to truly embed this culture of blameless learning, she even uses her own past mistakes in her training sessions to illustrate points.
Wow, that takes courage. Demonstrates vulnerability.
It does, and it makes the learning real. Stephen Clark shared his own war wounds from rejecting in-spec batches for patient safety reasons. Difficult million-pound conversations with senior management and sales teams.
Oof. High-pressure calls.
Extremely. He noted that communication is key, stressing that QPs should not go through these scenarios alone. He urged them to view themselves as part of a union, helping each other.
A union. Interesting term. Like a support collective.
Yeah, exactly. This collective support system allows QPs to lean on shared experiences and wisdom, ensuring no one feels isolated when making those incredibly tough calls. Tag 3. Coaching and developing QA professionals. Beyond technical training.
It's abundantly clear from many of the stories we've heard that having a strong sponsor or mentor is absolutely crucial in a qualified person's journey, especially during that demanding QP eligibility process.
Oh, indispensable.
It's not just about technical knowledge, is it? It's guiding them through the unspoken nuances of the role.
Absolutely. Graham Clark credits his sponsor, Helen Vicky, as incredible and expresses being eternally grateful for her profound commitment and support.
What did that support look like?
It wasn't just passive guidance. It included regular get-togethers, rigorous mock Vivas, and active coaching on presentation and thought process. Real hands-on stuff.
Proper coaching.
And Richard Smalley describes the sponsor's role as very, very important, going beyond mere support to actively guide, coach, and push.
Push? How so?
He highlights their role in providing honest feedback, even when it's a difficult conversation about developing assertiveness, or maybe addressing a perceived lack of specific experience.
The tough love aspect.
Exactly. He emphasizes that sponsors are vital in arranging diverse experiences for trainees across different departments and functions and conducting numerous mock Vivas to ensure comprehensive preparation, not just for the exam, but for the complex realities of the job.
Preparing them for the actual role, not just the test.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Stephen Clark and Damian Larrington also spoke of how their sponsors were truly pivotal in their QP journeys.
Yeah.
These mentors didn't just facilitate. They actively pushed them to seek broader experiences, even encouraging them to step outside their comfort zone. And they provided crucial emotional encouragement when personal challenges arose that might have otherwise derailed their progress.
That personal support is huge.
It really is. Damian's mentor specifically recognized his mindset and temperament for the QP role, providing him with a structured development approach and regular, dedicated meetings.
So tailored support.
Yeah. The consistent message from all our sources is unequivocally that the sponsor is an integral, indispensable part of shaping the career of a QP trainee, not just academically, but holistically.
Right.
They prepare them not only for the theoretical knowledge, but for the immense practical and ethical complexities of the role, helping them build the confidence to make critical decisions.
So for a quality director listening, actively identifying and training potential sponsors within their team should be a priority.
Absolutely. It's a core part of your team's succession planning and capability building.
Okay. Beyond formal mentorship programs, what's the long-term approach to development? How do QA professionals continue to grow and remain relevant once they've achieved that significant QP title, especially in an industry that's constantly evolving?
That's a great question. Mukesh Patel asserts that lifelong learning and continual professional development cannot be understated.
Lifelong learning sounds good, but what does it mean in practice?
Well, especially when, as he notes, knowledge in some industries doubles every 18 months.
Wow, that fast.
Yeah. This rapid evolution, particularly in areas like biologics or gene therapies, demands constant adaptation and a proactive approach to learning. Catherine Kay advises to always make time for personal development and to enhance your learning.
Make time. Easier said than done.
True, but critically, she emphasizes, you as an individual have to be proactive and you have to champion your own development.
So the onus is on the individual.
Largely, yes. It's not something that just happens to you. You have to actively drive it, carve out the time, and seek out the opportunities.
So it sounds like it's a fundamental commitment from the individual, a proactive stance, not just something the company provides.
Pretty much.
It's about personal accountability for growth. But how can a quality director cultivate that internal drive within their team? You can't force people to be curious.
No, but you can create the environment for it. For a leader, it's about modeling that behavior yourself. Marie, reflecting on her own extensive career, said her best advice was to never stop learning, and crucially, don't turn down opportunities because you don't know how to do something.
Embrace the unknown. That's a growth mindset right there.
Exactly. Stephen Clark, who has worked in various dosage forms and roles, from clinical packaging to strategic quality director, truly exemplifies this constant learning ethos. He's continually adapted his skill set.
Walk the talk.
He reminds us that becoming a QP doesn't make you bionic or mean you have all of the answers. He advocates for being prepared to say, I'm not sure, but I'll try and find out.
Humility is key.
Absolutely. This humility, this willingness to admit when you don't know and then actively seek the answer is a key aspect of continuous learning and builds trust within a team.
And leaders foster this by creating a safe environment where asking questions is encouraged, not seen as a weakness.
Precisely. Make curiosity safe.
Okay, another recurring theme interwoven across all our sources is the invaluable nature of a strong professional network. It's painted as an indispensable asset.
Hugely important, yes.
Especially for those in leadership roles where complex problems often require diverse expertise.
Mukesh Patel stresses that a professional network is increasingly more valuable due to fewer industry resources maybe, and just the sheer pace of innovation.
So it fills the gaps.
It provides direct access to subject matter experts, SMEs, that might otherwise be unavailable within your own organization. He explicitly recommends developing this network through various avenues, specialized training courses, industry conferences, informal dinner meetings.
The usual suspects?
Yeah. But he also emphasizes the critical importance of internal networks within different departments, not just external ones.
Breaking down internal silos.
Right, for proactive, preventive action and fostering cross-functional collaboration within your own organization. It's about knowing who to call before a crisis hits.
So this isn't just about getting answers to specific questions. It's about building camaraderie, a shared sense of purpose, and a collective intelligence that reinforces the entire quality function.
You've got it. It's almost like a peer-to-peer support group for navigating incredibly complex challenges.
Yeah, a collective brain.
Stephen Clark highlighted his lifelong network, including a specific Scottish QP network that actively helps trainees with site visits and gaining necessary experience that might be hard to get at their home company.
That's fantastic. Practical help.
Yeah. Phil Rose emphasized building a robust network both inside and outside the company as a crucial sounding board for confidential conversations and seeking objective perspectives on dilemmas.
Someone safe to talk to.
Exactly. Damian Larrington noted the renewed importance of getting back together in person after the pandemic to get those networks established and for people to realize that others will share issues with you as a QP, significantly reducing feelings of isolation.
Connection matters.
It really does. Marie advises speaking to people at all levels of the organization, treating everyone as an equal, being personable, open, and not judgy.
Simple advice, but powerful.
Many QPs describe this network as essential because you're not alone in this. And in Stephen's words, QPs should be a bit like a union.
That union idea again, collective support.
A collective support system, a source of shared wisdom, and a powerful voice. For quality directors, actively promoting and even facilitating these networks for your team is paramount. Don't just let it happen, encourage it.
Right. Now, the QP eligibility is often seen as a pinnacle, right? The culmination of a long and demanding journey. But our experts suggest it's actually just another significant step, not the final destination. This implies a need for a continuous growth mindset, even after achieving such a prestigious qualification.
That's a really important point. Marie recalled being qualified for 10 years before actually going on a license.
10 years? Wow. Why the delay?
Well, the circumstances varied. But the interesting thing is she felt that experience surprisingly gave her a distinct advantage. It built profound confidence and helped her shed any imposter syndrome before taking on the full weight of the responsibility.
So she felt fully ready when she did step up.
Exactly. She learned that the QP qualification signifies critical thinking and analysis rather than absolute knowledge. It's about the ability to reason integrate information, and make informed decisions, not simply possessing every factual detail.
It's a way of thinking, not just a body of knowledge.
Precisely. Damian Larrington also highlighted this pigeonholing of QPs, where companies sometimes view the QP role as the end of your career.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, not actively considering further development opportunities like leading complex projects, engaging in strategic initiatives, or transitioning into broader leadership roles.
That mindset could be incredibly detrimental, couldn't it? Leading to stagnation. If a QP is seen as having arrived and no longer needs development.
It sounds like it could lead to complacency, especially in a dynamic, rapidly evolving industry.
Exactly.
And Damian warned that running QPs at Redline for 25 years without further development can lead to profound complacency and ultimately a higher likelihood of mistakes.
That's a serious warning.
It is. This strongly underscores the ongoing need for continuous growth and diverse experiences beyond just the routine of batch release.
So, for a quality director, what's the takeaway?
It means actively designing career paths for QPs that extend beyond just the batch release function, offer opportunities for cross-functional projects, strategic planning, maybe even external engagements.
Keep them challenged, keep them growing.
Exactly. The QP journey is a lifelong commitment to learning and evolution, not a single finite destination. It's about nurturing versatile leaders, not just technical experts. #tag4. Addressing leadership styles and future challenges.
As we look towards the future of QA leadership, especially for quality directors who are shaping the next generation, what kind of leadership approaches do our experts suggest simply don't work? In today's dynamic, fast-paced pharmaceutical environment.
What are the pitfalls?
Yeah, exactly. What should leaders actively avoid?
Adrian Zara, discussing his extensive experiences in restructuring businesses or remediating complex problems, implicitly warns against leadership that is not transparent or consistently fails to clearly communicate the why behind decisions.
Back to the why.
Always back to the why. He astutely points out that as you move higher up in an organization, leaders tend to do more politics and more people communication than anything else.
Politics.
Well, networking, influencing, explaining, strategizing, the softer relational skills. This, he observes, can be particularly difficult for QPs who are primarily technical experts by training and inclination.
Right, they might struggle with the less tangible aspects.
Yeah, they may default to technical explanations when a more empathetic or strategic communication is needed. It's a different skill set.
So it's not just about what to avoid, but also what skills to actively cultivate. Stephen Clark directly addressed stifling leadership styles.
He did.
It sounds like he's seen firsthand the profound negative impact of overly controlling, micromanaging management, especially on highly skilled professionals like QPs.
He noted he's seen managers who stifle their teams because the person at the top feels they absolutely needs to make every single decision.
The bottleneck leader.
Exactly. This type of micromanagement severely stifles growth, crushes creativity, and fundamentally inhibits the development of team members. It leads to frustration and, often, attrition.
People leave.
They do. The lesson for leaders is clear and emphatic. If you have a good team, a team of competent, dedicated QPs, you must trust the people round about you and let them go and develop.
Empowerment again.
This empowerment is essential for fostering a truly high-performing and innovative QA function. It allows individuals to truly thrive, take ownership, and even surprise you with their solutions. It's about building capacity, not just control.
That's a powerful point. How do leaders navigate that fine line between accountability and empathy, though, especially when regulatory pressures are immense and difficult, often unpopular decisions need to be made?
Yeah, it's a delicate balance.
It can make or break a leader's credibility and a team's morale.
Adrian Zara emphasizes the critical importance of putting yourself in the shoes of people when facing high-stress situations like business restructuring or post-audit remediation.
Empathy.
Deep empathy. Understanding their thoughts, their fears, their motivations is absolutely key to aligning them with the executive board's aims and the overall company strategy.
Seeing it from their perspective.
He noted that sometimes surgery, like an amputation, meaning swift, drastic action is needed early on to address a severe, immediate problem.
Right.
But often, a less turbulent approach, like using an antibiotic, a more gradual systemic treatment, is better in the long run. It fosters recovery and trust, rather than trauma and resentment.
Choosing the right approach for the situation.
Exactly. And above all, he asserts, honesty and transparency are paramount. If trust is lost, especially in a QA function, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to recover.
It really goes beyond simple management. It's about genuine leadership, guiding people through difficult terrain with both firmness and profound understanding, focusing on the human impact.
It is, but it also means making tough calls. Adrian stated bluntly that QPs should not expect to be liked 100% of the time.
Ouch. But probably true.
As they are representing patients and the regulatory authority, sometimes that means making unpopular but correct decisions that prioritize quality and safety over commercial pressures.
Holding the line.
Richard Smalley reinforced the need for profound resilience, viewing any challenge, however daunting, as a potential opportunity to learn new skills and hone existing ones.
The challenges opportunity mindset.
This crucial mindset shift from seeing a problem as an obstacle to seeing it as an opportunity for growth is fundamental for sustained effectiveness under pressure. A leader models this by showing their own resilience and willingness to learn from setbacks.
Okay, we can't talk about the future of QA, or any industry for that matter, without addressing the rapid advancements in technology, especially artificial intelligence.
Yes, AI. The big one.
How do our sources anticipate this will transform the QP role and, by extension, the responsibilities of QA leadership?
Catherine Kay highlighted that the QP role is constantly changing due to advancements in technology, evolving regulatory changes, and the increasing complexity of the global pharmaceutical supply chain.
It's never static.
Never. She specifically mentioned the potential of digital architecture for real-time release.
Real-time release, what's that?
Where products could potentially be released based on continuous data monitoring rather than traditional batch-by-batch review. This could fundamentally alter traditional batch release processes.
Wow, that's a game changer.
Huge. Mukesh Patel added that future leaders must recognize business needs beyond mere compliance, actively contributing to efficiency and continual improvement, aligning with principles like ICH Q10.
So moving beyond just ticking boxes.
Right. It signals a strategic shift from purely reactive compliance to proactive value creation within the business, using quality as a driver.
That's a significant shift. Stephen Clark, with his extensive experience and forward-thinking perspective, makes a pretty bold prediction about the future of the QP role itself.
He does. He's not shying away from the impact of AI.
What does he see coming?
Stephen believes it would be stupid to avoid AI and machine learning, predicting it will be the very near future, not a distant one.
Okay.
He thinks that a significant portion, he estimates 90–95% of routine batch release, could become automated through AI-driven systems.
90–95%, that's massive automation.
It is. This, he argues, means QPs will urgently need to develop their roles and spend more time in the quality system side of things.
Doing what instead?
Focusing on strategic oversight, data integrity, AI validation, complex problem solving, rather than that transactional batch review. He also points out that as regulators slim down, more onus is going to be on us companies to justify what we do and how we do it.
More self-policing driven by data.
Exactly. Moving beyond simple compliance to a deeper, more proactive demonstration of quality and patient safety using intelligent systems. This means QA leaders need to start preparing their teams for this shift now.
So it's not just about integrating AI into the process, but QPs and QA leaders themselves need to become more tech-savvy. It sounds like a different skill set entirely.
It is.
How does a quality director even begin to upskill their entire team for this future?
Damian Larrington stresses that quality risk management is a pressing challenge with the rise of AI and globalization. He warns that AI is already implemented globally, impacting UK and EU supply chains regardless of local adoption.
So you can't ignore it.
Resistance is futile. Understanding is paramount. He raises critical questions for leaders. How do you audit and validate these new AI systems? How do you ensure the algorithms are unbiased?
Good question.
He even provocatively asks, is the robot appropriately trained?
Huh. Love that. Is the robot trained?
He strongly urges QPs and leaders to actively engage in networks, attend conferences focused on these emerging technologies, and speak to experts to gain understanding and justify decisions, rather than resisting blindly.
Get educated, basically.
This proactive learning, this willingness to engage with the unknown, is paramount for future QA leadership.
This means overcoming the ingrained, often comfortable, this is the way it's always worked mindset.
Oh yeah, that's a huge barrier.
Especially in a risk-averse industry like pharma. How do leaders overcome that inertia and resistance within their own teams and organizations?
Stephen and Damian both acknowledge this inherent resistance within the industry, but insist that the industry must come together through professional bodies and guidance to collectively define its stance on AI,
A unified approach.
whether to mitigate its risks, accept its implementation, or issue a hard no in certain specific high-risk areas. Damien states unequivocally that the QP's role provides essential accountability.
The human oversight.
Exactly. So while AI can be a powerful tool for efficiency and data analysis, there will never be an AI QP. The human element of judgment, ethical oversight, and ultimate responsibility for patient safety remains.
So the role changes but doesn't disappear.
Right. Leaders, therefore, must ensure adequate resources for audits of these new systems, moving beyond remote checks to necessary on-site visits to truly understand the technology and its implications for product quality and patient safety.
Gotta get the tires, even if they're virtual tires.
Pretty much. It's about adapting the human oversight, expertise, and judgment to new technological realities, rather than being replaced by them. #tag6. Practical leadership takeaways for directors or heads of QA.
Okay, we've covered a vast landscape of challenges and insights today, really exploring the profound human side of quality assurance, from culture and coaching to navigating pressure and embracing technological disruption.
It's been a lot.
Let's try and distill this into 3 practical, actionable takeaways for you, our senior QA leaders and directors listening today. What can they actually do?
Okay, 3 key takeaways. First, proactively invest in an empowered and continuously learning culture.
Back to culture.
Always. Catherine Kay's extensive experience and that loyalty she felt at Merck, it underscores that valuing and actively supporting your people directly leads to increased engagement, loyalty, and long-term retention.
Which hits the bottom line.
Right. This isn't just a feel-good outcome. It tangibly translates into higher profitability, reduced costs associated with turnover, and enhanced organizational resilience. Stephen Clark reinforces this vital point. As a leader, you must trust your teams, allow them the autonomy to develop, and even make mistakes within controlled boundaries.
Give them space.
Give them the dedicated time, cross-functional experiences, and psychological safety they need to grow. Foster a culture where quality is genuinely everyone's responsibility, not just the QP's. This holistic, people-centric approach builds a stronger, more adaptable, and ultimately more compliant organization.
Okay, takeaway number 1. Invest in an empowered learning culture. What's number 2?
Second, champion well-being and strategic boundaries for yourself and your team.
Looking after yourself and your people.
Absolutely. Richard Smalley's journey highlights the critical importance of learning to say no and setting clear, justifiable boundaries to prevent overcommitment and burnout. He advises focusing rigorously on high-value activities and skillfully avoiding unnecessary details. Remember the GMO principle.
Get in, move on.
Adrian Zara and Stephen Clark's candid personal anecdotes of managing intense pressure and even experiencing breakdowns powerfully underscore that leaders must model self-care.
Lead by example.
Implement practical, non-negotiable practices for yourself and your team, like never missing lunch breaks, completely switching off after hours, developing external interests that broaden your perspective. This approach ensures sustained performance for you, reduces the risk of errors born from fatigue, and crucially demonstrates to your team that their well-being is not just encouraged, but truly valued and essential for long-term success.
Makes sense. So empower learning culture, champion well-being. What's the 3rd takeaway?
And finally, number 3. Cultivate an adaptive mindset and robust networks to master future challenges.
Embracing change and connection.
Precisely. Mukesh Patel's emphasis on lifelong learning and continuous professional development is absolutely paramount in this rapidly evolving industry. He, along with Catherine, Stephen, Phil, Damien, Marie, Adrian, and Richard, basically everyone we talked about, universally championed the building and active utilization of strong internal and external professional networks.
The network is key.
For quality directors, this means actively encouraging your teams to engage with new technologies like AI, understand their implications deeply, and proactively prepare to integrate them responsibly into quality systems.
Don't fear the future, prepare for it.
Exactly. It's about strategically shifting focus from rigid, reactive compliance to proactive oversight and advanced risk management. Embracing those awkward conversations, asking what might seem like stupid questions, openly discussing potential pitfalls, all to foster true, collective understanding and innovation in a rapidly evolving landscape.
Great. So empower learning, champion well-being, and cultivate adaptive networks. What stands out to you from today's deep dive?
For me, it's just crystal clear. that the human side of quality assurance is precisely where the most profound and sustainable impact can be made.
Yeah, I agree.
From fostering that culture of trust and continuous learning to navigating the intense pressures, embracing technological change like AI, it all fundamentally comes back to how we lead, how we support, and how we develop our people.
Indeed. We've heard repeatedly that resilience, a profound commitment to proactive, lifelong learning, and the cultivation of strong, active professional networks are the absolute hallmarks of successful QA leaders.
Definitely. The future of quality isn't just about systems and regulations, although those remain vital. It's fundamentally about the empowered, trusted, and adaptable individuals who build, manage, and drive those systems forward with unwavering integrity and foresight.
So what does this all mean for you, the quality director or senior QA leader listening today? Consider this provocative thought as you move forward. The true, enduring measure of a QA leader's success isn't just in the batches released or the audits passed. It's in the resilient, self-sustaining quality culture they've cultivated, a culture robust enough to adapt to any future disruption, because its people are empowered, trusted, relentlessly curious, and fundamentally human.
That's a powerful way to frame it.
What one action, however small, will you take this week to strengthen the human side of your QA function?